Congressman, you went viral yesterday by exposing the swamp. Now, Anna Paulina Luna and Marjorie Taylor Greene have come to your defense and saying that's exactly what happened. Republicans cut a sleazebag deal in order to protect a pedophile enabler, which is indefensible. The floor is yours.
And that person's on the Intelligence Committee, Benny. And the reality is, to get on the Intelligence Committee, you got to raise a ton of money for the conference or the caucus, and you got to kiss a lot of ass. And I do not have the ability to do either one. That is why I'm probably vulnerable, because I can't raise the money because the big boys hate my guts. You know, they always throw me a bone the day after the election, tell me they were always with me all along. And I always say, yeah, I really felt it right there towards the end. But the reality is that shows, I could quit saying it's a swamp. I've said this many times. The swamp is something God created. I know you believe in God as the ultimate creator. You know, it's a swamp is a cool ecosystem, filters water. It's beautiful. This is man-made. It is a sewer, and it stinks, and it's infected both parties, and it's just despicable, the deal cutting that goes on to protect people, when ultimately it's not about the people back home, the people that sent us here, not about my dadgum Uncle Roy who died protecting this country. It's about keeping members of Congress in power, and in effect, they are compromised. You and I have talked about this. We blew the lid off that, and everybody got ticked off about it, and then the news came out about what was really going on. This is compromise 101. You see people that you think are going to do the right thing, and then they don't. They vote to protect a pedophile co-conspirator, literally. I mean, this lady was getting texts from Jeffrey Epstien, contributions from him, and you don't hear a peep out of the Democrats over it. And then the vote to censure her, which we ought to vote to kick her ass out of Congress, is what we ought to do. She doesn't even have a vote on the floor on contested votes because she's a delegate. And that she's sitting on the Intelligence Committee, a committee I cannot even go in to hear what's going on as a member of Congress. And they sit up there like, you know, they're kings, which I guess they are. And it's just a bogus situation. America needs to get ticked off. We need to get off our butts, and we need to quit with all the garbage about how we're doing what's right, because we're not. And quit saying I'm gonna load up and we're gonna beat AOC. Quit worrying about AOC. Quit worrying about Priapol or whatever. Worry about these moderates that are killing us. They are killing us. I've said this before. Reagan said it. We're one generation away from losing our country. Brother, we're one vote series away from losing our country, because America is going to lose confidence, and they have lost confidence, and they should. And we've got to do better than 12% at the polls.
So what exactly happened last night with Republican leadership? Was this a Mike Johnson deal? So
well,
he was trying to protect Corey Mills from getting a censure vote as well? Let every member of Congress stand on their own, right? Like, it's indefensible what Stacey Plaskett did. So I don't know anything about what Corey Mills did, but it's indefensible what Stacey Plaskett clearly did. And who published that was the Washington Post. It wasn't InfoWars. It wasn't Breitbart. It was the Washington Post that went hard at her for being a pedophile enabler and protector, and actually just pretty much programmed. So she's programmed by an elite pederast, and he is funneling through her questions of Congress. So Jeffrey Epstein might as well be a effing member of Congress at this point.
Yep.
And he's using the Democrat Party. Yes. Yeah, and so then Republicans can't punish that. That's like the most bottom. That's like below the basement. That's like at the Earth's crust level of like the lowest bar you could get to ask Republicans to simply punish that person with a slap on the wrist. And they can't do that. That's too much.
Yeah. Well, in the speaker's defense, I got a text from him last night. He saw my viral video. I think it's over 700,000 views. And I was ticked off, and you know, I put it out there, and he said, look, I didn't know about it. I was at a state dinner with the president. He came in late, and I get that, but let's correct it. We have the opportunity to correct. See, my tie's not even pulled up, so I was really ticked off. I try to keep it pulled up tight, even though my press guy never gets it right. He always pulls it off to the side, and I get ticked off, but he's all I got. So anyway, no, I just, think we missed another opportunity. I hate that in this game. I hate when we miss an opportunity. You know, it's like these Epstein files, dude. The whole thing, and then you get, we got 300,000 kids that disappeared over the border during the Biden or whatever. Somebody said it's not 300,000, it's 100. I don't care if it's 5. You got these kids sold into sex slavery. You've got organ harvesting. This is from the very pits of hell, Benny. Something that we should all agree on, even people that aren't even believers in Jesus. This is the pits of hell that these people are in. And then the Democrat Party doesn't have the guts to call that out because it happened during the Biden administration. And then, raise all the hell you want about Epstein. It's horrible, but this is there too. And no one will address any of this. And then Congress has the nerve to cut a deal with a lady who doesn't even have a vote because she's a delegate. And she sits on the most powerful committee in Congress. Most powerful. It is the most sought after position. I said something to the former speaker about getting onto it, and he just laughed after I helped him get in there. But anyway, he was removed anyway. But it doesn't matter. The point is this. This country knows right now we are compromised. If we can't kick somebody like that out of a committee, and then she needs to be out of Congress. She needs to go back to the island where she came from. Although, granted, it's American territory. I get that. And we need to start over again. This does not need to happen. Republicans, whatever deal they cut, I don't know what Corey Mills did. I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about the vote that you had 3 Republicans vote against it, 3 that passed, and 4 that chose not to vote that were there.
So will we get another vote on this? Did the speaker tell you we're going to get another vote on this?
I don't know. I don't know the process. I'm not the parliamentarian. I'm just, my blood pressure has been going through the roof since last night, dude. I'm going to find out, though. I'm going to find out because America deserves that. And we need to hold people accountable. And that's why people like you are so politically deadly to these people, and they hate your guts. And I love it.
Good.
And I love it.
Good. We've been railing against them because Mike Johnson lied to my face. Like I was up in Capitol Hill, and I'm not. This isn't like a Mike Johnson hate show, but this is an equal opportunity. Like, explain to us, and you better tell us the truth when we're up there, because he's like, yes, I want everything out. Pam Bondi should just release all of it. We shouldn't protect any of these pederasts, and he said that to me, and we played the clip. And then what happened last night was Republicans voted to protect the pederasts, and some of them. And to not punish people who were effectively being an Epstein proxy. I mean, you have to look at Stacey Plaskett now. You have to look at her as effectively like Jeffrey Epstein serving in Congress. That's what she is.
Yeah, she has his ear, or he had her ear. Now,
how much money do you think that she funneled through the shady Virgin Island stuff, like from Jeffrey Epstein? I mean, how much money do you think? We saw what was happening with Sam Bankman-Fried. Shouldn't it be her? We know that the Virgin Islands is like the center of all money laundering. Shouldn't it be her under investigation? Not just censured, not just kicked out of Congress. Shouldn't there be a full-scale investigation?
Yeah, and also who all Epstein gave money to.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you they're the ones that yell the loudest. There's a movie, I think it's Stalag 13 or 17, I can't remember. And they said, and this guy was supposed to be a snitch. He wasn't. He was just a jerk. And they beat the crap out of him. And they said, who do you think is the one that did it? Who do you think is the real snitch? And he said, the one that beat me the hardest. And so the ones that are yelling the hardest in this thing, took me a long time to get to that point, but I think you understand what I'm saying, Benny. You get me. I just can't even imagine. Yeah, there you go. I can't even imagine going home back to East Tennessee or just to Tennessee anywhere and saying, oh, I voted to protect these dirt bags. It's ridiculous.
Of course not. Of course not. No, it's indefensible. It's indefensible.
I've always said, ultimately, more than the voters, I'm going to face my maker one day. And to think that you play ball with these people or allow them to exist or allow them a voice is just beyond belief. Beyond belief.
So you're on oversight, and James Comer is out saying that the Clintons are going to get Bannon treatment. They haven't gotten back with you at all. They haven't even responded. Some other very powerful people have, but the Clintons have said, screw you. And you can't do that to Congress. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're, I don't know exactly what protections Hillary would ever have. Obviously you have presidential immunity, I suppose, while you're president, but like Donald Trump's had to sit for subpoenas for like half his life.
Yeah. And his kids.
What's going to happen to the Clintons here?
Nothing. The sewer protects its own, brother. I'll rant and rave, and we'll come back on in a couple of weeks, and I'll tell you about the letter I wrote to whoever to get them before the committee. But that's why people like me aren't in leadership, dude. I think you just about have to be compromised to get to that point, one way or the other.
What should happen to the Clintons?
They should be punished. We should get to the bottom of everything. We should find out where the money went. We should find out where the money went when they were down there in that island. Not just the Epstien island,
Haiti.
Haiti. But too many people got rich off this. Look, Benny, here's how it works. It's just the NGOs, and let's talk about them non-government organizations, which are government. Just my bill to defund the Taliban. 1,000 NGOs, plus you add the UN, probably 3,000 NGOs. The money flows, and Elon Musk had it right. And that's why I think both parties shunned themselves from him, because he said, hey, those NGOs, the money flows right back to Washington. And he told me, he said, I think it flows in the pockets of politicians. I mean, you had the ranking member of the committee I serve on that went through the bill to defund the Taliban, which, still waiting in the Senate for them to pass it. All kinds of confusion over there. They're fighting over the NGOs. The money, he told me the money flows right from your pockets to the dadgum NGOs. The NGOs, the money comes right back to Washington in the form of dark money and in the pockets of politicians. That's why you're seeing Republicans go squishy on NGOs, because they're shady as hell. They all are. I mean, if you're involved in it, they are. Not everybody up here is. Some of them are just willing idiots. They just go along to get along, so they know that they'll get their crumbs, and they don't really ask where they come from.
Do you think that that's what Elon found, and that's why he was run out of the city?
That's my theory. Ultimately. I think he was getting too close. I don't know if he found the specifics yet, but I'd say he was right on it. And then you don't see the media wrap. And I know I got to get on. I got to go. I got to get out. I got to get to my deal. C-SPAN. I apologize. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. I mean, it's money, it's power, and it's arrogance. All those three things is what runs this town. And that's why, again, people like me, we don't advance. I mean, I'm good looking enough to be a chairman. You've told me that many times off the air that I'm an incredibly handsome man. But I got to go, brother. I love you. Thank you. Hey, let's keep fighting for our country. Let's not quit. God's blessed us with an incredible country and a gift.
Yes.
And you've been a gift to this country. And I hope you stay healthy and love that sweet family of yours. Thank you, brother. God bless you. You're the man.
God bless you, Tim, and enjoy a much smaller audience on C-SPAN.
Yeah, 4 people that'll be watching me here. One of them my wife wanted me watching me. I bet she's working in the barn right now. See you, brother.
All right, see you, Congressman.